Todd Nielsen. I'm a longtime member of the Blue Lotus Temple. Tonight, our guest speaker is Bhante Kusala. He will talk about the importance of the precepts. Bhante Kusala was born in Sri Lanka. He entered the monastic life at the age of 16 in 2004 at Sri Gangagiri Vihara in southern Sri Lanka. In 2007, he received his higher ordination. He did his undergraduate and graduate studies at the University of Peradeniya in Sri Lanka, majoring in the Pali language. In 2012, he moved to Italy and studied cognitive science and engaged in mindfulness-based research work at the University of Trento. In 2014, he moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts, and pursued a master's degree at Harvard University. He has been a visiting lecturer at the University of Peradeniya. Bhante Kusala helps children, young people, and adults with their spiritual counseling needs. In 2018, he was invited to the Great Lakes Buddhist Vihara in Michigan to continue his Dhamma service. Later on in the ceremony or class, if you have a question, you have to sit in this very chair where I'm seating and talking to both of these microphones. So this is later on tonight. So welcome, Bhante Kusala.
Thank you very much for the very kind introduction. Let's pay homage to the Buddha together. You can bring your palms closer to your heart and close your eyes and relax and join with me to pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I pay homage to the Blessed One, the Enlightened One, the Supreme Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So to begin with, I welcome you to this 15 minutes of guided meditation. I think in the beginning, as you are fresh and prepared bodily and also somewhat mentally, it would be great to do some guided meditations together. So we come together as one team, one group, one spirit, and prepare ourselves to listen to Dhamma. So wherever you happen to be, you are here with us. You are here in the presence of the enlightened ones, the Buddhas. You are here in the presence of Dhamma. You are here in the presence of Sangha. So with that faith in your mind, in your heart, making more space for peace and calmness and stillness in your body and mind, let us now prepare ourselves for a simple guided meditation. You may close your eyes and pay attention to your hands posture, your upper body's posture, your lower body's posture. Your neck and shoulders. Take a deep breath in and release. Take another deep breath in and release. Deep breath in release. Breathe in peace. Breathe out, let go. Peace. Let go. Peace. Let go. Peace. Let go. Now, from your head to toes, scan your body and move away from any agitations, accepting them, welcoming them, allowing them to be, letting things be without owning them, making them yours. Let things take their own time, so there is no rushing. Anything you experience is part of your arising and passing away. It's not you arising, it is whatever the things that has causes and conditions to arise. They arise and they pass away. With that insight, notice how you feel slightly connected, grounded, deeply rooted in a way, established, permeating metta, goodwill to yourself and to beings in your household, in your surroundings, to bhantes, to fellow yogis, meditators, to all spiritual companions, to your loved ones, to those whom you may have hurt unintentionally or intentionally. You forgive yourself instantly for not understanding any better. And now you wish clarity of your mind to establish a strong foundation of Sīla, your virtues, precepts, from today onward, starting from this guided meditation till the end of meeting your goals. You are building a brick house, and now there is a concrete slab, and few pillars are holding this slab. When one falls, another gives a strong foundation, and you rebuild the pillar that has been fallen. So that you come back stronger. This is how your precepts support you in your path toward freedom, liberation, relinquishment. Connecting with that freedom is totally in your hands. As your body keeps the score of your past experiences, the mechanism of brain chemistry and cells and all the biology, somewhat unknown to us, we have faith toward the Buddha. We identify our needs based on our character and made a decision, a good decision to be here. So with attention to the center of your being, you awaken your being, prana, through mindfully breathing in, mindfully breathing out. You have a gentle smile on your face because you are kind and mindful to your well-being, supportive of this journey and allowing yourself to make mistakes without any judgment. You can feel the breath going through your nostrils, coming out through your nostrils. So you are aware of these feelings that are pleasant and sometimes neutral. You are aware of any painful feeling also involved with your seated posture. They exist only when you pay attention to them. So you establish right mindfulness. That is mindfulness that there is a body for bare knowledge and existence, for not multiplying things, controlling things, but merely for letting things be. You take a long breath. Inhaling and exhaling, long breath. Quiet, long breath. Whole body is involved with this long breath. Shoulders, face, stomach, everything. Please allow the Buddha to enter your minds and correct any place that needs correcting. Joyful experience, removing any anger, removing dots of delusion, fixing places and increasing your wisdom, sweeping out, sweeping away the defilements, doing some deep cleaning work for you. It's going to be a very, very busy day to the Buddha. But he's going to enjoy it. He wants you to be kind, be gentle with yourself, be nice to yourself. That way, you permeate friendliness toward all beings. All beings are your children. You feed them, nourish them, look after them. You want them to be better. May all beings in every direction receive your metta, your friendliness, benevolence, goodwill, metta, mitrashilita, hitaishita, suhadata, your heartful connection, being one with them, wishing them gladness and safety. May all beings in every direction, above you, below you, on your right, on your left, in front of you, behind you, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy. No enmity, no frenemies. They can have them in their hearts, but you don't. You are not being blocked by these energies that are unwholesome. Uprooting them from your being, cleansing them. You purify your existence, renew your connections with Katanyu and Katavedita, gratitude and acknowledgement. Now spend little time quietly reflecting on your virtues, your precepts. You maintained your precepts during this guided meditation. You didn't tell a lie. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't steal. You did not engage in any misconduct. You did not verbally or physically abuse anyone. You did not take any intoxicants. With that purity in mind, you stay quiet, allowing things to be as they become, as they are. Okay, friends, please open your eyes whenever you feel comfortable. Take a moment to come back to this gathering. And remember to smile whenever you can. I like to see that smile. It's beautiful when you smile. So beautiful. So calming. Excellent. So the rest of the time we have is for us to orient ourselves and understand about precepts, and there will be time for questions and answers. So the basic precepts, as I mentioned in the guided meditation, includes lifetime precepts of a Buddhist, which means Bauddha, like awakening person, someone who aspires to really reach the highest purity in their conduct. So with that goal in mind, they begin respecting their own being, and by doing so they begin to protect other people's lives. And this can be easily done by you. The hardest part is, visiting Sri Lanka and having to deal with mosquitoes. Because you can't carry a mosquito net all the time. But you can always try to avoid these places where there are too many mosquitoes and protect yourself and still keep metta, goodwill, in your heart as your vehicle, as your precious object, that which is the carrier on which you are seated, and you go everywhere with that goodwill vehicle. It's your Tesla. It has enough fuel for you to get around all the time. So that shows that, keeping the first precept is about protecting your own life, and by doing so you protect lives of all beings, because they are you. I think in every faith tradition they teach the value of protecting your neighbor, everyone around you. So psychologically you don't damage people. If you do happen to do that, and unintentionally, you forgive yourself and you teach yourself to never allow that suffering to enter you again. When that mistake is done again, you forgive yourself and try again, like the Buddha gave many chances to many monks kindly, and somehow push them toward full purity. You be kind with yourself. You don't judge too much. You don't judge at all. Just like you protect all beings, you also protect everyone's properties. Like in Japan, when someone has forgotten their wallet, maybe on a bike, 3 days later they come back and it's still sitting there. No one has touched it. And if anyone has touched it, the Japanese say it's not a true Japanese person. Someone who is a visitor, who violated the true moral foundation of a Japanese person. So that's a precept keeping society. The third one, sexual misconduct. This is one of the precepts that really gives you an easy life. When you don't really violate this precept, it's about having an easy life. If you do violate this precept, so you are married and have an extramarital affair, this is not going to give you an easy life. You will be distracted, unfaithful. You will be living in pieces. You may not be living in peace. Remember, where do you live? You don't live in your house. You live in your mind, which is an unlimited area. If you live with regrets, you don't live in peace. You live in pieces. So the third precept is about living an easy life, comfortable life. So you respect, you quickly remove, you do not entertain thoughts of connecting with anyone who's, extra to your marriage. You avoid such dangers, and this has a tremendous effect on your future lives. If you continue to be born, you will be rewarded with faithful hearts, lifetime partners, soulmates. You will find them sooner because you have that energy maintained in you, that loyalty. The precept about lying, telling lies, that is so important too, as you are, you, no matter how difficult it is, at least with time you slowly open yourself up and tell the truth. And that way, your true conscience is like a soft pillow. No matter how expensive the mattress is in your bedroom, when you have true conscience, you can sleep well. Because you are kind to yourself. You tell the truth. You speak the truth. You are trusted. And this doesn't come, all at once. Gradually you realize you have been telling the truth. That is why you are confident in the way you speak, the way you deal with everyone. People begin to trust you. If they don't, you still trust yourself that you are doing kind and right, kindful and rightful thing. And the last one, taking intoxications. This takes a lot of willpower to say no to such things. Sometimes you say, oh, it's my daughter's wedding, I have to indulge. And you start small, and before you know, you have gone too far, and the following day you realize everything is recorded on CCTV of somebody else's house. You have done crazy things that you didn't know you did on your daughter's wedding day, for example. So here is my favorite story about precepts. There was this Zen monk, a student. He approached his teacher and said, "Teacher, I feel like I have accomplished everything. There's nothing for me to master." And the teacher said, "Well, there's a test for you. You have to do one of these things. Here's a bottle of sake. You can try this. You have to finish the whole bottle and show me that you have accomplished everything. And there is that beautiful, pretty young lady. You can sleep in the same bed with her and show me you've accomplished everything by following day. Oh, there is that goat. There is that goat in the barn. Do you say barn? The farm area. You can kill that. and show me that you have accomplished everything. So the student decided, I can't invite a lady to my bed tonight. It's inappropriate. Let me just drink the bottle of sake, and it's really harmless. I'll be fine the next day. Next morning, he found himself, the pretty lady was in bed with him and the goat on the table. So when you break the last precept, you break everything. You haven't accomplished anything. That's a lie. You break all precepts with that breaking of last precept, because you don't have coherence in your activities or in your thinking. You don't really have responsible actions. You are not mindful. Let me tell this story from Thich Nhat Hanh. When he was super young, as a novice monk, his teacher told him to do something for him. So the novice monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, he was very excited about it. So he ran and slammed the door behind him. And his teacher called him and said, my dear child, come back. Please close the door again. So this time the novice monk Thich Nhat Hanh, with full of his being, full mindfulness, he closed the door. And his teacher never had to remind him of closing the door again, ever in his life. 20 years later, Thich Nhat Hanh, having become a big teacher in the world, was traveling around the world, and he happened to be in Connecticut in the United States. And he was in this monastery of a Trappist monk. The Trappist monk's name was Thomas Merton. And Thich Nhat Hanh told this story from his childhood to the friend, Thomas. And Thomas said, before even you tell me, I observed how you closed the door. You are mindful and you are fully there. So Thich Nhat Hanh went back to Plum Village and continued his teachings. And Thomas, he happened to give a talk. In that talk, he included Thich Nhat Hanh's closing the door experience. And there was this German lady from a Catholic background. She heard this story and she went to Plum Village. And she said, I came to see how you closed the door. She wanted to really see how Thich Nhat Hanh closed the door. This was a big, big lesson. So, mindfulness, being fully there, includes a strong foundation of precepts, Sīla. That is why Sīla, your virtues, when virtues are purified, it leads to stillness of your mind. Easily concentrated, easily stilled, and your lotus-like mind begins to bloom. Wisdom enters, lotus opens. The dark layers disappears, coarse parts disappears, beautiful, fragrance-full, likable layers begin to open up. And it has this beauty, radiance in it. And you love your whole being, just like you love watching that flower bloom. So, stillness then leads to prajna, wisdom. Because when everything is in balance, when everything is so calm, you begin to observe, you begin to notice how things arise and how things pass away. When Sīla is impure, you are restless, you are not coherent with your spoken words, you seem to rush to do things, you seem to take judgment personally. When your Sīla is so pure, you know you are doing life right. And that is why what these Bhantes, Bhante Badhya, Bhante Assaji, and all the Bhantes, Bhante Sujata, what they are teaching you is to have a strong foundation of Sīla. It may not be as strong as, of a monk, but it is strong enough as a lay Buddhist person, because the Buddha said in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, in the Sutta of Great Passing Away, that lay Buddhist disciples, upasakas, that means male disciples, and upasikas, female disciples, when they learn Sīla, when they learn Samadhi, when they learn Prajna, virtues, stillness, and wisdom, they illuminate the Sasana, the Buddha's teachings. So it is you, by living the example of a moral, righteous life, people will say, something is right with you. I want that. That is how you become an exemplary person. You don't only speak about it. When you see the smallest mistakes, like in the Metta Sutta it says, when someone wiser than you tells you, or even smaller than you in terms of whatever capacity, you don't compare. Whoever tells you anything minor, you make sure that there's nothing to correct. But you do allow yourself to stay in any place where there is chance for mistakes to happen, but you don't entertain them too long, because you love your full being. Full purity comes through accepting yourself, letting things be, non-identifying things, not taking anything personally. Okay, I open it for questions. You can raise your hand. I'm in Ahmik Lake Resort right now, and it is 8:45 p.m. here. It's 7:45 p.m. over there in your time. And I'm supposed to be leaving right after this talk, 3 hours drive to Toronto. So that's why I'm a little bit mindful about the time. Yes, please.
Unmute myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very
Okay.
well, Carrie.
I am going to be taking 8 precepts.
Mm-hmm.
I've already been practicing 5 or 6, maybe even 7 fairly well for the past decade or so.
Yeah.
I finally found teachers, so I'm getting on my way again, and the Blue Lotus has helped me immensely. So my question is, one of the additional ones I will be taking on October 1st is small talk, and it's closely related to gossip in my question. My question for actually both, but mostly for small talk, is how do I refrain from participating in small talk if someone else initiates it? If someone else begins it, how do I refrain from participating, in other words, opening my mouth, without hurting them?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is, let me tell you an experience. I was in Winnipeg recently, and this person who is a professor who practices mindfulness all the time. And my monk brothers were in that vehicle, and we were being taken back from a meal offering. And somehow the conversation about real estate came to our presence, and this professor, he was mindful to ignore the question, but it sounded little rude. So I wish that it only occurred to us later that he ignored that question asked by one of our monk friends. It was just a friendly question, because we were talking about, how quickly things have developed in that area. And so the message here is, let me tell another experience. When my father became a monk, he was very strict, like he was very strict at home with my mom and us. So he told people, bring food before 10 in the morning. And when people came at 10:30, they climbed that mountain, and they were poor villagers, and he refused to accept that food. And I told him, you are good at discipline, Vinaya, but you are not kind. You don't have karuna. It doesn't matter whether you eat that food or not, accept it. Be kind to those people. I think you get the message here.
Yes.
If we act
Thank
rude,
you.
saying, oh, I'm mindful about this, it's like I, me minus. They don't understand it. They are not there with you. So
Right.
being kind to yourself, everything, you are seeing it. You are seeing it. You have many ways, beautiful ways. See, you smile and you say, oh really? And you pretend like you want to say something, and maybe you say it, but it's
I
the
just don't.
most harmless thing to yourself, harmless to the friendship, and you are so kind. And that is the most important thing in that experience. And my father learned it
Thank you.
hard way.
I like that. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. I get it. Okay.
These are tough moments in life. Sometimes we feel like, oh, did I sound rude to someone when I, So it's, the rules are for the convenience of monks, convenience of lay people, not to put you in trouble, not to put you in discomfort. That's a great question. I love that.
If anyone in the temple has a question, please come up to the microphone here. I guess no one. Well, thank you, Bhante Kusala. A very good talk. And we're having the precept ceremony here October the 1st.
Yes, I was briefed by Bhante just before I started the talk.
That's great. Okay, well, I have some really quick announcements for the temple. Tomorrow is the monthly blessing right here at the temple from 6 to 6:45. You can bring anything that you want to be blessed and protected by the chanting of the monks, including yourself, of course, and any malas you have, or a statue, or an image, or your Mercedes-Benz. You can bring it here, or your keys to your Mercedes. We're having snacks and food on Saturday again, so be sure to order your snacks and food online before then. Oh dear, I need my reading glasses. Sunday morning coffee with Bhante Sujata on via Zoom 9/11 at 10 a.m. And finally, the Dhammapada class with Bhante Bhadia at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And if you go to the bulletin board in our social hall, you'll see a lot of things that are coming up in the near future. And that's it.
One last thing. Sīla Gandhang Anuttara. Of all fragrances, the fragrance of virtue is the most excellent one. It's beautiful, it has that fragrance, and it goes everywhere. It goes even against the wind. Thank you so much. It's great we ended a little early so I can say goodbye to my friends here and go home.
Thank you, Bhante, again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Venerable Bhantes, as well.
Recording
Thank you.
stopped.